I said if I go to Japan for 2 months, I'll kick. And I did.
You, Mia on the other part of the world. So there's two big Game & Watches, right? You got the chance to learn a lot from like the people that play Mia frequently.
Otherwise, like, ooh, there it is. Take a seat, Goryoka. Meister takes game 3.
Every time I study Mia, because I'm like, okay, Mia beat this guy, right? I'd be like, I do that too, though. Like, what's going on, right? But then when I actually went to Japan, I was like, oh.
I realized too, they're crazy. Like the way they play is just beautiful.
I'm sorry, Japan's the best breed in the world for a reason.
Japan is becoming so good, and I don't know what you think, but I feel like it's gonna become even better.
I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna hate me for this one. Alright everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Go Talks. It's actually been quite a while since we last did a Go Talks over here on our setups. I mean, the last one was like back in Miami, right? But also over here at home, it's been a while, so it's good to be back. Yes. Obviously, both of us are here. MKLeo and I over here. How you doing, man?
Bro, holy shit! Finally getting time to spend at home. I've been spending time with my girlfriend, like with my family. You know, like resting in your bed. That's like the best feeling ever. Eating Mexican food, like, yeah. Bro, you know how much I love Mexican food. So yeah, it feels so great to be back home after like a long trip. But I'm pretty sure you know about that, right? Like you know about the feeling of being far from home, just like Spider-Man. But I guess we're just getting right into it, bro. I remember when we were talking at the podcast like 3 months ago, you were already mentioning like your plans to go to Japan to practice and like grow up as a player for 2 months. And fucking shit, man, you really did it. Which is, I mean, tienes mi respeto, Stark. You have everybody's respect, of course, and you did amazing. So yeah, bro, please tell us about your Japan trip, because I know you went there for a long time.
A wibble. Yeah. So, man, I can't believe when you said like 2 or 3 months ago back in the podcast. It's been that long. Holy crap. Okay. Well, it was insane, honestly. Like, I remember when I left, I was like, all right, like everything's going to change like drastically, right? It's like 2 months away from home. It's crazy because originally it was like a month and a half. But then my flight got delayed by like 4 days. So it was a month and 3 weeks. So at that point, it's 2 months, whatever. But yeah, so I was kind of nervous because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to be doing at tournaments. Like Japan's just on a different level. Last time I went there, I didn't do bad, but I didn't do like the way I wanted to. And I think I mean if you want to edit that clip into this, that would be amazing. All I'm gonna say is if I went to Japan and stayed there for 2 months, I'll kick their ass.
Ooh, put that on the record.
Yeah, I did say if I go to Japan for 2 months, and I said this like a year ago, I think. I said if I go to Japan for 2 months, I'll kick ass. And I did. So...
Do they kick ass in Japan, and then like after coming back to LG, like you mentioned, your flight got delayed for 4 days, but after that you went to the LG Invitational, which kind of makes it the 2 months, yeah. So that's crazy because you did say it. You were gonna kick ass, and you came back and you beat the boss. You're like, if I'm allowed to say it, you're bracket demon. So
dude, that's
like,
so
you never
funny.
beaten him, yeah, because you even beat me, and you became like close to beat me, but
yeah,
never the boss. So
that's something I always talk about because people every time they ask me like, "Yo, who's your bracket demon? Is it Leo? Is it Mars?" I'm like, funnily enough, no, because like Mars I've only beaten twice. I've beaten you like once, like offline at least. Apparently our record is like 4 and something, but I don't know where those other 3s that they're coming from. But anyway, so like the boss is the only one who like I've beaten one time, and it was like like a long time ago. And it's never close, like ever. With like you said, with you it's like game 5. With Mars it's like game 5. But the boss is always like, okay, the boss, no chance, right? And this time around I was like, all right, no, I feel like I can do it. And it's so funny because like I also beat Shattuck, I beat Asimo, and like obviously no disrespect because those are insane wins as well.
Yeah.
But Shattuck, the set count is in my favor. Same with Asimo, so I was like, okay, I'm not too worried about them. But I definitely was worried about the buzz. So, for me, my biggest win at that tournament was definitely the buzz. Like, 100%.
Yeah, I feel like the buzz wins is, like, the kind of thing that shows how good you became, right? And like you mentioned, it's always a matchup that you've been shown with always destruction. Like like you get destroyed by Rosalina.
Yeah.
So I guess it's time to tell those about like the stuff that you learn in Japan, right? Like of course I also went there, I learned a lot of his stuff. But there's always this conversation happening, right? Like you, Mia on the other part of the world. So there's two big Game & Watches, right? So I'm pretty sure you got the chance to learn a lot from like the people that play Mia frequently, and I think that translate really well to you, right? Because you already have a different playstyle and stuff. So it's kind of like if you have your power now and have Mia's power now. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
feel like both playstyles combine now makes you so fucking good. So what in specific do you think changed when you went to Japan? Because of course you went there once already,
yeah,
but in
yeah.
this time in specific, like it was definitely like game changing. You know, like something clicked. And what was it?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things, honestly. I mean, I knew a lot of things were going to change because this time around I did a lot of things different. Like, my first thing is that I wanted to play Elite Smash a lot because I remember when I went there in May, I played Elite Smash for like 2 days and I was like, damn, people are really good, even in Elite Smash. Like, in Mexico, in the US, and Canada, I've played in Elite Smash and,
Yeah,
all right.
they have two stocks or like a stamina or like yeah items.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Why?
Yeah, yeah, which is really funny because the one thing about Elite Smash in Japan that I will say is that people are definitely more toxic over there than in NA, and that is surprising because, like, I don't know, like over there, if you're beating them, like if you're three stocking them, they will just SD. They don't want to keep playing, and over here it's like you'll be three stocking them and whatnot, and they'll be there. They'll be like, all right, I'll finish the game, whatever, right?
Yeah,
But Japan, like, I don't know, I think they're a little salty online. But
yeah,
anyways,
they're prideful.
so yeah. So what changed? I guess I started playing a little bit more discipline, I guess, is like really what you take from Japan in my opinion. Like in Japan you won't see like, yeah, like the best example that comes to my mind is Vitality, right? Like the Captain Falcon. You'll see Vitality go out there with like downers like super deep off stage. Like nah, like I played a bunch of Captain Falcons there. I played Karage. I played one more which I forget the tag. Those players, like those Captain Falcon players, were really good. But the one thing they shared is that they wouldn't like overextend. They wouldn't do anything unsafe or like whenever they took a risk, it's because they knew like I can do this. I can take this risk
Yeah.
and nothing bad is gonna happen. Or like if it happens, it's not too bad, right?
Mm.
So to me, that's what translated into my gameplay. It's like, all right, if I want to line with a downer, I know I can do it here because nothing will happen, and if I get punished, it's not gonna be a big deal, right?
Mm.
Whereas before it was like, what if I try landing with downer? Like whatever, right? Like yeah, no, that
What
changed
if
a
it
lot.
hits?
Yeah, that and I think my advantage state got like way better. Like I think I'm getting people from like 0 to 100 now, or like
Bro, it was really very good.
oh I know, oh I know. It's just I feel like there's times where like I would prioritize doing like up air into up B, and sometimes that up B would miss, for example, and I would get punished. Like if you take a look at my set versus tweak at the Scuffed World Tour, that's a really good example. I was making a comeback by doing up airs. Like I got him to like 130, 120, something like that. And then because I did upper up B instead of keeping the upper chains, I died because he neutral and I died to the top. I was like, well, that's stupid because if I would have stayed disciplined, if I would have stayed just doing uppers and frame trap him, then that's that. Like I would have won. But because I overextended with the up B, that was definitely not necessary. I died. So those kind of like changes are definitely like good for me. And also I feel like I know when to like let's trap and edge guard more now. Like to me, my game plan has always been like edge guarding. I feel like I'm stronger there compared to Mia. I think Mia ledge traps way better than me, for example. Whereas I have the edge guarding like a lot better. But this time around, I think I do both really good now. Like I know when I should do bacon or when I should not do bacon. So like yeah, I feel like that's really important.
I see. Yes, the timings on the bacon, like that's something true. Every single time you went for bacon on the ledge, you just kept going for bacon until like something happened, right?
Yeah,
and every single time I see Mia, he's like 1, 2, and then he waits. 1, 2, 3, then he waits.
Yeah.
That's really smart. I feel like, I mean, I guess the same thing happens for me, but I feel like the way I would describe it is like, you learn how to do the same things but in different positionings. Like, does that make sense? It's like it's the same situation. I mean, it's not the same situation and it's not the same position, but you can act the same way. It's pretty weird. Like you mentioned, you stay disciplined and always be conscious. I feel like that's the thing with Japan. Like when you're playing in Japan, you feel like I'm not kidding, and I'm not over exaggerating. Like when you're in round one pools, like if you fucked up, like if you play bad, you lose. Like
Yeah, you lose. Yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah. So like I think it really helps you like maintaining composed when you're playing and not getting desperate like in really bad situations. Just like yeah, like playing discipline all the time, like because you can always lose all the time. It's not. I mean, no, I'm not throwing shades to the U.S. players or Mexican players, but like when you're in pools, sometimes you feel like like it's great, right?
Well, yeah.
Like in round one, run two, run three, like. But in again, no shit to you guys, but in Japan, it's like oh my god, like if like I start playing bad and he takes a stock, like
Yeah.
they just don't care. Like I don't know what is about it. Like
I
they're
remember
super
I
good.
talked about that with Base Mage when I went there in May, like this same year, and I told him like, dude, I can't do anything in pools. Like I feel like I'm playing a top player every single round. Like it's crazy. And he was like, oh yeah, like every time I come to Japan, I tell people that they cannot autopilot in pools in Japan because like that's the thing about like the U.S. and Mexico. And again, yeah, well, and even Canada, because we've competed in Canada too, or even Europe, dude. Like I'm sorry, Japan's the best region in the world for a reason.
Even
Like,
everywhere except Japan.
yeah, literally, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we have experience around the entire globe, and this is the only region where this has happened, like where we have felt that this is a thing. You can't autopilot it at all, and I feel like going to Japan helps you a lot with that. It's just it helps you concentrate a lot more. I don't know. I think that's the word for it. Yeah.
Yeah, like stamina. I feel like like when you're like sometimes when you're playing, you're like, yo, like I don't know what to do. Like you start autopiloting. Have that ever happened to you? Like
Yeah.
you just get so tired and you're like, yeah, bro.
You're like,
Like,
well, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
like,
happens,
yeah,
happens.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
I feel like in
Something,
Japan it trains you well. Like to
Mhm.
like always be like following the pace of the game. Like never stop. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
Step
yeah,
by
yeah.
step, and always try to be one step ahead. I think.
Yeah,
Man,
and that's
the
the
way
thing
they
that
play
you
is
were
beautiful.
mentioning that you said like, oh, you learn how to do the same stuff but in like different like a different rhythm, like so to say,
Mhm.
right? Because I knew like it's so funny because like every time I study Miya, because I'm like, okay, Miya beat this guy, right? Like for the boss, I was like, okay, Miya has not beaten the boss with Game & Watch, but he took him to like game 5. So like I've taken the boss to game 5, but like very few times. So what happened here, right? And I would study him. I'd be like, I do that too, though. Like, what's going on, right? But then when I actually went to Japan, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he does
Ooh.
do some of the same things that I do, but he does them in a different way. He does them in different timings, different in different scenarios. For example, where I thought like,
Yeah.
oh, if I have to down smash normal get up or something like that, right? He would be like, no, whatever. I don't have to do that here. I can do that. I don't know, like center stage or whatever, right? It's like,
Yes.
oh, never thought about that. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like every single time I'm talking about this kind of stuff, I get really excited because I think it's the most beautiful thing in the world. Like just like that decision making.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I understand what you mentioned, and like that's just crazy, and yeah, I realized too. They're crazy. Like the way they play is just beautiful.
Yeah, and everyone there is just like they just become so good. Like every tournament that you go to there, this is something I wanted to point out because like, and we mentioned it like I think on the podcast before I left. Every single tournament there was gonna be like B tier or A tier, dude. None of the tournaments that I went to were B tiers. None of them. They were all A tiers. There were 3 A tiers, 1 P tier, and 1 S plus. So this one was almost a P tier, which was
Yeah.
the last Sumabato, which is
Mm.
literally almost the same as Umebura in terms of tiers. Like, are you kidding me? Like that's so stacked. So what I'm getting at with this is that everyone just gets so good because everyone just plays like each other all the
So
time. They're
much.
like, yeah, exactly. And to get to like, this is something I loved, and I said it on a bunch of interviews. It's so easy to go to like this region to another in Japan. Like the transportation is really good. You can take the train, you can take a plane, you can take a bus. Like there's so many ways to just get
Yeah.
around where tournaments are at in Japan. Like it's really really easy. And some options are more expensive than others for sure. But like for example, if you go from Tokyo to Osaka, like you just take a bus, it's like $30 American. So like it's cheap, you know?
Yes, it is, and it's really safe, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, that too. Because I could be taking the subway at like 10, 11 p.m. Nothing would happen, man. It's so safe.
Yeah, that's crazy. But now that you mention it, Have you ever seen like the list of the LG like Lumi rank mentioning who is going to each tournament? And you see all those tournaments like named in Japan, and you see like the same like in the same weekend you see like 3 Japanese tournaments, and you see like the same players. It's like, bro, they're grinding. Like, shout outs to my boy Gorioka, because Gorioka is my goat.
Dude,
he knows everything.
He went to like 3 tournaments in the same week. Like, that's crazy.
In like the same weekend, I believe. Yeah. In like the same weekend.
Yeah.
Damn, that's my goat. But that's the Japan experience. Again, it's like Meister said. It's kind of, I mean, some options are more expensive than others, more accessible. Of course, traveling from this part of the world to Japan is really complicated, right? In terms of money, instead of like culture-wise, food-wise, time, like everything. Like, traveling is not easy. That's what I want to get.
Yeah, I know. And I think it's harder in Japan because, like, and I even mentioned, this is why I mentioned it so much when I went to the LG Invitational, because every interview that I got there, like during the Invitational, I always mention, like, man, I'm jet lagged. I'm sorry. Like, what do you want from me? Like, because like it's one thing to go from like Mexico to even Europe, which is like 6 hours, 7 hours, which is still a lot, and it will affect you to a certain degree. But dude, we're talking about a 17-hour difference between Japan and Miami in this case, because with Mexico it's 15, but with Miami it's 17. So getting used to all that, and like you said, the food, the culture and everything. Well, the culture, to be fair, to me, it wasn't hard to like get used to it, because it's like, dude, all you gotta do is be respectful. Like, is that so hard? Nice. Like, anyone that goes like, oh, being in Japan is like, as a tourist, right? I'm saying this as a tourist.
Yeah.
Oh, traveling to Japan as a tourist is so hard because the people. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, the people are very respectful, very patient with you. They're willing to like do stuff for you. You know, like overall. I mean, I was there for 2 months, bro. I never had a bad experience with anything really, like anywhere in Japan.
I feel like for me it's just the language. Like, I don't know, it's just so like it's just so hard, because I mean, you don't understand anything, right? It's like when we went to the US the first time. I mean, I don't know if you knew English the first time you went to the US, but at least for me, I didn't know English, so for me it was like what is happening? So sometimes when I'm alone, like when I'm alone, like in the train or stuff, like they talk to me and I'm already panicked. I'm like, bro, this must be important. What's happening?
And I think we were talking about that over there, how like it's so tough to find someone to teach you Japanese over here in Mexico. Like in Mexico, because I'm pretty sure there's got to be someone in the U.S. that can teach you, right? But for us in Mexico, it is so tough, because like I found one person, but they live so far away. It's like, I'm not even kidding, like 2 hours away, like 2 hours and 30 minutes away because of traffic. So, I mean, I do want to learn Japanese, but that's a ton of gas. I don't want to do that. Yeah, even if I took an Uber, it's still a lot of money. So I don't know about that.
Holy shit, papu. Yeah, I feel like that's one of the hardest part. But again, it's like, it's not. I mean, going to Japan, like Meister said, is an amazing experience. I also agree on it. I know money is a big deal. Like, traveling to Japan, money wise, is hard as fuck. But if you want to learn more about Smash, if you want to like grow up as a player, just get better. Like, like they grind so much. This game is beautiful. Like, if you want to keep grinding it, like, Japan is becoming so good, and I don't know what you think, but I feel like it's gonna become even better. So,
dude, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Actually, another reason why Japan gets so much better, and I've wanted to talk about this for a while on the podcast, because I think I mentioned it briefly in like one episode, but I can actually, like, I can talk about it more precisely now. Dude, every single thing that they do about the game is just better. Like, I'm talking about, like, not just grinding, but did you take a look at how many people were spectating during Top 8? Well, for Umebura, for example, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many people leave the moment in which they see a Steve player in Top 8? Do you know how many people? It's insane. Shout out to the big house. But, dude, it is crazy how much the US sometimes hates the game, dude. Because not even in Mexico, I gotta say that, okay? That is definitely different in Mexico. Because in Mexico, we had a Steve, we had a Pikachu, we had a Sonic at Smash Factor. No one left the venue. There was nowhere to be sitting to spectate finals. Nowhere to be sitting at. But if you go to, like, that's in Mexico, right? And if you go to Japan, it's the same thing. Why? Because we all love the game. Because, well, no, that's not, I was going to say something, but no, that's going to start a war in the comment section. No thanks. So, anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that if you want to get better, start liking the game. Don't even tell me like, oh, but this game is so trash because it has so much cheese. You're just saying this because you mean Game & Watch and he's like top 5 and whatnot. Bro, whatever. Yes, I'm Game & Watch, but I still get cheesed by a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm over here playing. And not only that, but like, yeah, you're complaining and whatever, but you're still playing the game. So like, in the very bottom of your soul, you still like this game. You're still playing it, you know? So
and
like,
fucking
dude,
do it good, right? Then fucking do it good. Do it correctly. That's
exactly.
Indeed.
Like, what are you there for? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's like, you go to tournaments. You pay so much money to go to tournaments, right? And then you go, I don't like this game. Then why do you do it, man? Like, have you thought about it? Like, come on, bro. Come on.
That's not logical, guys. That's stupid. How many people left? How many people left the venue, Meister? Please tell us when that Steve was on the screen in Japan. Please tell us.
0.
I'm
not even kidding. Like, there's same thing as with Smash Factor in Mexico. Nowhere to be sitting at to watch the finals. Nowhere. You can't find a single spot. Because it's literally the base of improving. Like, you can't improve in something that you don't like. Like, if you don't like the game, it's gonna be like super tough for you to like improve. And this is before you guys start like canceling us for all this, right? Like, this whole conversation comes from like the point of view of improving. If you just like Smash because you like spectating, or well, not spect. Well, yeah, I guess if you like to like just play it casually and whatnot, all right, I can understand where you're coming from, right? But like, if you play it competitively, you gotta deal with all this stuff. Like, that's just how it be, and that's what Japan does. Japan, I almost never heard, or well, yeah, I almost never saw the Japanese players complain about something. Like, for example, if one of them had to play a Steve player, I would always tell them like, oh yeah, Steve, whatever. If you lose, it doesn't matter. It's Steve, right? And they would literally just reply to me with like, no, I just gotta do better. It's like, damn. Someone else would have replied to me with like, no, I agree with you. Fuck Steve. It's like,
fuck Steve.
No, their mentality is straight up just, no, I gotta do better. I gotta play well. It's like, they're not even worrying about the character. They don't even care that it's OP. Like, they probably know like, oh yeah, Steve is stupid. Yeah. But they don't let that control them, you know?
They want to win. They just want to win, like, no matter what.
Yeah, let alone winning. I feel like they just want to do their best. Like, that's all they want to do. Because, like, over here, I feel like it's so easy for a lot of people to be like, oh, I have this person in my bracket. Whatever. Okay, so loser's time. It's like, no, you have to focus, man. You have to lock in. And that's what they do there. That's why you see so many upsets, you know?
Exactly. You have to lock in. You heard the goat, boys. You have to fucking look in. We'll have to fucking look in. And, well, I mean, I know you always been locked in, Meister, but I'm so happy for you, and I'm so glad. I'm excited to see you locked in that hard. I always get so excited when I see my Mexican friends doing so fucking good. Like,
thank you.
It's amazing, yeah, so...
Well, speaking of which, like, let's talk a little bit about, because you also went to Japan. You stayed there for quite a bit as well. I mean, it wasn't 2 months and whatnot, right? But it was
10 days. It was 10 days compared to 40. No, to what? 60?
50, yeah. Ugh, insane. Still, it was quite a bit. Because, I mean, you were, before going to Japan for 10 days, you were still traveling before that, right? Yeah. But let's focus a little bit more on your run at Umebura. Because, I mean, you were going to weeklies. You won, like, pretty much all of them besides one. So, yeah, how'd that go? Like... Yeah, that shit was heartbreaking, man. I know,
dude. I still remember the moment Ken was just like, "Bam!" Like, bro, that just sometimes hits. I couldn't do anything. What could I have done? Like,
I just thought, please don't roll, and then you rolled, and I was like, ah, CG, whatever.
No, but I meant like the 2-frame.
Oh,
like,
the 2-frame.
The one in the first head. Like, that's just unfortunate. Like, I just have to do different timings. But like, Ken is crazy. Ken is cracked.
Yeah, but, he reads it. That's how it is. But yeah, so Umebura, crazy run. I mean, I know you want to beat Aquila again. And the same thing happened as in SmashCon, I know.
Yeah.
But still, 4th at a P tier. At a Japanese P tier.
Oh, 5th.
Is insane.
5th. I'm sorry.
5th? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was
so,
5th.
Yeah.
How did it feel? Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, it felt very good. You know that I've been having like a not really good time. Like doing good like in the game. Like that I've been struggling with like adapting to some stuff, but I've finally been getting like the grip of it. Like of course I learned a lot in Japan, so like getting fifth at that one tournament at Umebura, like after coming from only losing one weekly, it was like I don't know. It felt like I will feel that I'm back. Like like always those memes, like oh the goat is back, MKLeo's back, blah blah blah. Like even that French dancing meme that you showed me.
Yeah.
But like bro, I don't know. Like for me, I will feel I'm back until like I win like a major again, until I win something again like before. But what can I tell you? It really felt like I was back. Does that make sense? I'm not. I know that's not logical, but it really feels like I was back that day because dude, Dora Migi was literally like when I went to Japan, when I was in Japan, when I went to Umebura, I hate to admit it, but with Minmin, I actually do hate Minmin way more than Steve, way more than Kazuya. Like that character is a nightmare for me, bro. So like that I had to play Rimu. I played I even played Dora Migi on friendlies. Like I was practicing the matchup and I started playing Meta Knight as well. So it started clicking so well. Like now that I play Meta Knight and I beat Dora Migi with Meta Knight, I feel like after starting the game, I feel like I could beat him with Joker too, like with my characters. Of course, I will keep going to Meta Knight. But I don't know, like just like being able to get fifth at a tournament like that after not doing so well in the US, in Canada, blah blah blah. Like beating Dora Migi, like like again, like that's my Steve, bro. Like every single time I see a Min, when I saw I had to play Dora Migi, I was like, like bro, like even though Akola beat me, I'm like, okay, yeah, like you got it, like you're the best, yeah, like you're the best, bro. But I stayed with the bro. I finally became better than like the best Min, and also better than just Min. Like just better than the version of me always like thinking that I was gonna lose to Min, and now I'm not anymore. Like not even if I didn't have a Meta Knight MK, I was still I think I will still be fine. That's what I mean with like I feel the back, like I feel that I'm back.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think you can tell in like your playstyle because you can tell you're like a lot more confident now. You can tell like you know when to choose what now. Whereas before, like I'm not gonna lie, like when I've watched you play like the past couple tournaments where you haven't done so great, every time I watch you play, I'm like, why did he do that? Right? Like, what was the purpose of throwing out that move there? Whereas now I watch you play and I'm like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Like that's what was gonna work, right? Like I remember we reviewed that one set of you versus Zomba, and I told you like, why did you do this gun, right? And you were like, well, yeah, well that's where the whole sequence came from, right? And I was like, well, yeah, but what if you played a little bit more safe, Like I know you got the stock, but what if you did this instead? And I feel like that's what you're doing now. You're like your decision making is there again, because that's literally all it was in my opinion. Like I feel like your decision making it got a little bit worse, but now it's back at the peak of where it has to be. It's just a matter of like adjusting like your playstyle to what's happening now, right? Because like I mean you beat Zama the last couple times, like before LG Invitational, but at the Invitational you lost again. So now it's just a matter of adapting again, and you'll kick his ass again. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's how it be. And then I guess the biggest thing is that you beat the Ramiki. Like, bro, I mean, yeah, sure, you were up 2 on Acolyte, whatever. Shit happens. But you literally beat, like you said, your nightmare character with a character that you have never used in bracket, or at least in a P tier, before. Like, you used Meta Knight. Do you want to talk about that? Because, like, Meta Knight, hello?
Hello?
I mean, I'm glad you did it, but yeah.
MKLeo, just kidding. That means something else. MKLeo, I had to use MK. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I was at Region. I was in the UK. Once again. Oh, also I gotta mention this because at LG Invitational, it was the first time I beat Gluto after 2 years.
Oh, that too. Yes.
This is funny. Not a lot of people know this, but Gluto and I used to be training partners for so long. Like before quarantine and after quarantine, we used to practice so much. Like when he used to come to Mexico, when I used to go to France. Yeah, like we grinded a lot. So even Gluto has told me, yeah, like I know what you're thinking. Like he always like it's like messing me up, bro. Like fucking Gluto. And I'm like, yeah, I know what you're thinking. So I'm really glad I beat him this time. But again, I was a Region. I lost to him again. So I was like, bro, like I really gotta start doing something different. I tried Roy, a character that I've been playing. Aegis. I don't want to play Aegis, bro.
Yeah, no.
Okay, forget I even mentioned that character. But I went Joker. I lost. He taunted me, crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Then after I lost, I was like, bro, like I really didn't feel like I was playing bad. Like no, because I wasn't playing bad. I was playing good because all the games were like last tug, last hit, but I couldn't clutch. So I was like, what is there for me to clutch? I'm not gonna lie. After that, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna play MK. You know, like I just feel like playing another character. What if MK is like a good idea? And I already played MK before because I mean Smash 4, blah blah. I knew he does good against Min Min and does good against some other matchups. So yeah, I'm just gonna give it a try. I was playing this character. Not gonna lie, when I started playing Meta Knight again, it really felt like so clicky. It felt like I never stopped playing the character. Of course, my combos are really bad, but my neutral are very nice.
That's all that matters, honestly.
Yeah, that's what makes it like so good, right? Like so different. And yeah, I just kept practicing when I went to Taiwan because in Taiwan there was Omoatsu, one of the best min-mins in Japan too, and I got the chance to grind with him with Meta Knight and also played him in bracket. So the experience, like I got experience from there. So I just kept the Meta Knight. And I think I'm gonna keep playing Meta Knight because he covers a lot of matches where I used to struggle with.
See, like usually when you tell me about your character choices, I'm like, are you sure? Like when you said Roy, I was like, you sure? When you said Rob, I was like, okay, for Min Min I can understand, but what about the rest of the matchups, right? Roy, I was like, come on, bro, like why? But Meta Knight, I'm like, yeah, that's the one. I think
that's the one.
Because like I know you probably said like, oh, well, I'm gonna try Meta Knight against Doramigi. I'm not gonna lie, I was 100% sure you were gonna win. Like I was like, there's no way Doramigi beats Leo or Leo's Meta Knight. Like there's no way. And it was still game 5, which surprised me because I thought it was gonna be 3-0.
Yeah.
But dude,
I'll be real, it had to be a 3-0. Next time I'm gonna 3-0.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about it too. Like nah, but like it's just I kept seeing that matchup. It's like, damn, maybe Meta Knight really does cover everything that like Joker, for example, struggles with, right? Like I think with Min Min, it's just the 2-framing and the edge guarding that gets you. Like if you play Joker in that matchup, right?
Yeah.
And with Meta Knight, it's like, yeah, sure, you might get 2-framed here and there, but Meta Knight has so many mix-ups on his recovery that like it's really not
going to matter.
Yeah, like it's not going to be a big deal. And then like comboing Meta Knight, he's just so tiny sometimes. It's like it feels weird to combo sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
I feel like the most important thing is like Meta Knight always like down throw or dash attack, whatever. Like everything will lead into a good combo that will put Min Min off stage. Yeah. A lot of characters in that position will be like, oh yeah, I double jump and I'm safe relatively, but Min Min is like, oh shit, I'm fucked. Like if the Meta Knight does it good, like it's literally dead. Like that's literally what happened game 5. I touched him once, he was off stage. I just had to beat him. That's the matchup, which is amazing, bro. Fucking Min Min, fuck you, Min Min. Okay.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I myself had a problem with Min Min, but I don't consider myself to have a problem with Min Min overall. Like my games were like game 5 with Doramigi, but I feel like I'm doing better too against Min Min. Min Min's so weird. I think it's just Japanese Min Mins, honestly.
God, they're so weird.
Or like I've played a couple in the US. Okay, like I don't want to be throwing shade all around because like the US is still a good region, but I played a couple of them. I played actually I cannot come up with any names right now, but I definitely have.
The only name that comes to my mind is Justice, like from the US.
No, I played what's that guy's name? Is it Pokelam? Is it no, Pokelam's the villager. There's 2 Pokies, and one of them is a villager and one of them is the Min Min. Whatever, one of them, I played their Min Min, and I did beat them pretty convincingly, right? And in Japan, I played 3 different Min Mins. I played Doramigi, I played Wana Delta, which beat me in losers, which I'm glad the dude got 5th, because, like, at that point, it's not a bad loss. Like, I lost to 5th place, alright, whatever, right? And then I lost to one in Smashmate, which I didn't talk about, but this one Min Min that I lost to in Smashmate, I beat them in the rematch, like, a day after. So like, do I really have a problem with Min Min? I don't know. Is it Japanese Min Mins that are OP? Probably, yeah.
Yeah, Japanese Min Mins just feel so different. Like I don't know what is it. I mean, again, no shit to the US Min Mins, but you can see that like the Min Min meta is more developed there, like 100%.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember how like Min Min actually got nerfed quite a couple times, like throughout the patches, and we were all like, "Why? Just leave her alone, right?" But like, I mean, everyone was happy about it because Min Min is an annoying character to fight at the end of the day, right? But at some point, I remember people were like, "Why do they keep nerfing Min Min?" And people kept saying, "Oh, it's because there's a lot of them in Japan and they do pretty good." And I was like, "Dude, I've never heard of a single Min Min in Japan besides Zora Miki, right?" No, dude. After spending enough time there, there's a lot of Min Mins and they're all pretty good. So yeah, I can understand why that character got nerfed several times. I mean, Proto Banham, my goat.
The other goat.
Yes. The other goat. Well, actually, I beat Proto Banham. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you did at a summit. I still remember, bro. It's so like it's slow motion in my head. I still remember how like he went for like the whole arm and then Game was just like he like rolled from the ledge. Like the way Game was rolls from the ledge was just so funny, like touching to the arms.
Yeah.
It's so slow motion in my head. I don't know why. Like every time I remember it, it's in a slow motion.
That's one way to look at it. But yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to get at is that that's where it all began. It's like Proto Banham was like the best Min Min in Japan. Of course, he stopped playing because of IRL stuff and whatnot. But now I feel like that influence carried on with like now there's Dora Miki, there's Rimu, which has made it into the throne if I'm not incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
The one that you played at in Taiwan, I think I forget their tag.
Oh, Omoatsu.
That one.
That's Omoatsu.
And then the one that beat me at Delta, which I'm so sorry, but I forget the tag as well. I know it starts with M Mao. I think it is. I don't remember. I think it's that one, but I'm not sure. Lots of Min Mins in Japan, guys. You want to learn a Min Min matchup? Just spend $2,000, go to Japan.
That's literally what I did. And I became victorious.
Yeah, he became God himself in the Min Min matchup.
Yes, I did. And not really it. Meta Knight did everything. I didn't do shit. It was Meta Knight.
Dude, but that Meta Knight, like you were saying, definitely keep that character in your roster because I think it's a pretty good pick because it's also one of those characters. I find him to be like Ariel Luigi. It's like you get touched, you die, literally. Yeah, like even at high percents, because at high percents you still get like
upper up.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you get your jump caught by Meta Knight, you just uppers up B. That's it. Like does that. So I don't know. Keep him there. Good character choice.
What I wanted to ask you, what you always like? You mentioned already about what you think about my secondaries. What do you think about the Byleth?
Oh, the Byleth should stay, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like who was it that you used Byleth against that you beat? Oh, the Shulk player. Okay, that Shulk player in Japan. Again, I forget the tag. I'm so sorry. So many.
It was
Akio. There you go. Yeah. So versus Akio, did you start with Joker? I think you did, right?
I did.
So when I was watching you play with Joker, I was like, it's missing like something here and there. It seems like you get cheesed quite a bit with Joker, right? And with Byleth, you might get comboed a little more, but it seems like getting cheesed is harder because the tether recovery for Byleth is like way bigger. So like It doesn't matter if you get sent all the way over there, you're still gonna make it back. Whereas with Joker, it's like, all right, if you get lucky and you get her sent at the right timing, all right, you'll make it back. But if you have tether, you're not making it back.
Yeah,
and then
really tough.
I feel like landing is maybe a bit easier sometimes against in a certain matchup. Because like with that Shulk, landing, I feel like was getting you quite a bit in there. Because like I remember he did like that double jump up air thing. He would like jump Monado. I was like, okay, bro. But then you switch to Byleth, it's like, okay, that doesn't happen. It's like way heavier, and you don't have to approach. You don't have to be in his face. So yeah, that's pretty good too.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep the Byleth. Sometimes, not gonna lie, sometimes I lose faith in Byleth because a lot of people say he's bad. I'm not gonna lie, I still think he's like crazy good. Like I still think I'm not a top tier, but I still think Byleth is like good. Of course, like there's some matches that are like unwinnable sometimes, but like Byleth is crazy. Like you mentioned, like Byleth can just cheese you and like doesn't get cheese out of nowhere. Literally, the only way you can cheese Byleth is like if your character is like God and stuff, right? Like if your character has like insane neutral, insane combos, insane advantage state. But if not, Byleth will always be like, "Oh, this is my safe place. This is my safe spot. Let's see what you do."
I think all that matters is that you know, and that as long as you think that Byleth is good and people are stupid, that's all that matters. Like if you think the character is good, play it. Because like I've always thought Byleth is bad. Like even when you were like winning everything with Byleth, I was like, how that character sucks. so like you make Byleth good, so it doesn't matter if Violet's bad or not. You can play fucking Little Mac, you do well, whatever. I don't know about that one. It's Little Mac, right?
Yeah,
but but you get my point.
Me,
yeah, like come on. But dude, seriously, like if you think Violet's good, you think Byleth covers this or that matchup, just keep it in the pocket, like for sure, just in case.
Let's fucking go. Talking about secondaries, you're not thinking about another secondary, right?
Oof, not at this point anymore. So it's so funny because even the boss told me about it. Because during my trip in Japan, I didn't tell anyone about this. Or if you watch my streams, you should watch them. If you don't, if you watch my Twitch streams, you would see that while I was playing Elite Smash, I would actually play Cloud quite a bit because I've been considering picking up Cloud specifically for Rosalina. And while I was in Japan, I played against a lot of Rosalina players with Cloud. I never practiced with Game & Watch. Like, I never practiced the matchup with Game & Watch because I was like, all right, we have to do this with Cloud. I'm not doing that matchup anymore. Even Mia plays Steve against Rosalina. So I played against a couple. I played against one in bracket at a weekly, and I beat that Rosalina. So, yeah. And I actually lost to one at Delta, which I was like, that's where I realized, like, okay, we don't got to bother with this matchup anymore. And then I came back, and the boss even was like, so you're going Cloud, right? But he said it like as a joke. And I was like, no, I'm going Game & Watch. And he was like, oh, wow, you didn't even laugh at my joke. I was like, oh, sorry. It's just, well, I've been practicing Cloud for you, man. You know that. Like, but, nah, yeah, like, I don't think I'm picking up a secondary anytime soon. Like, the matchup that I wanted a secondary for was Rosalina. Yeah. Like, not even CSS. CSS is fine for me now. I know how to play against CSS. Sonic is not too bad, honestly, and I'll stay on that hill. Because I think even Mia knows about it. I talked to him a little bit about it. That matchup is low-key kind of even at times. Because, like, you can get camped and whatnot, but once Game & Watch juggles Sonic, and once you get him at the ledge, because Sonic struggles a lot at the ledge, you're fine. Like, you don't really have to do much. You just have to be patient, which is probably my problem in that matchup. As long as you're patient, it should be fine. So, no. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna hate me for this one. I was thinking of picking up Sora again. I was like, no, stop. The intrusive thoughts. No.
The intrusive thoughts.
No.
Cloud or Sora. I mean, yeah, just keep the Game & Watch.
Yeah.
I feel like Game & Watch is just. I mean, you already beat the buzz. Fucking the buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we both beat the buzz. I love you, the buzz.
Wait, that's true. That boss has lost to all of Mexico now. Holy crap! Because he even lost to SkyJ, dude.
Yes.
Damn, the boss. We love you over here in Mexico, man.
We love you, Papu. Come to Smash Factor, please. Come
Again.
to Filomasa, Masa, please. Yes, we love you.
What? Yeah. Has Big Boss played the boss? No, right?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. Big Boss has been in a grind. I just want to mention that Big Boss just won Thunderdome in Spain. He beat Raflo. He won it over Siski and like some other like European like amazing players. So props to him. He recently picked up a sponsor, so he's doing good.
Popping off, yeah.
Yeah. Big Papa. But okay, I feel like that's all for the Japan trip. All that is left to say is that like if you want to keep grinding this fucking game, don't complain about it. Like it, understand it, learn to love it, because I know it can be hard sometimes. But
yeah, before we leave, learn to lose, because that's the most important thing. Because everyone just loses and just goes, oh, it's because my opponent's character is carried, or yeah, like my opponent's character carries him. It's like, yeah, maybe. Well, what you gonna do about it? Like,
maybe he's carried, but you're carried too. Like,
yeah, we're all carried to a certain
degree. I mean. We all
except
know that.
Ganon mains.
Ganon mains are also carried, bro.
Low-key, yeah. The fear factor, dude. Like, holy crap. Ganon is so bad that you're scared of losing to him.
even Ganondorf, even Little Mac players, like I can tell you, bro, that like you do something that makes you carried. Like you do something that you should not be getting away with. But
do you remember when I was playing Ganondorf against you in Japan and I did down throw back at you?
I was like, what? And that was fucking true. It was a Mennonite, right? Oh, Greninja! It was some Greninja, bro. What the fuck? What was wrong, Greninja? There's always something, bro. There's always something. The KO punch, that shit is crazy. But at least for me, every single time I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I need to learn how to lose. I need to stay composure because I know Papa Arsene fucking God will come out and I can just clutch the game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it works.
Yeah, just know your win conditions. Learn how to lose, but also learn your win conditions. Because even if you're getting bodied, you never know, man. You could still like you don't need to play perfect for like the entire 7 minutes of the timer. You have to play perfect for like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and then you'll be evening things out. Like it's what people don't realize.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so personally, before we leave again, just a note. I don't think I'm ever traveling like that again, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed me in Japan for 2 months because I'm not doing that ever again. I missed my home so much. I mean, I might go out there for like a month max, but not 2. Definitely not 2. I mean, I'm engaged now. I got stuff to do over here, man. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to live life as well. Come on.
So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, guys.
What about
please,
you? Would you do it?
No,
Would you go back?
Bro. No, not. I mean, I will go to Japan, of course, but not. 2 months.
Yeah.
I'll never do 2 months. Like that shit that you did. I'll be real, Meister. The maximum I stayed in a place was like a month and a half, and that was like in the US, back in Smash 4. And I remember I came back and I was like, so I was like 15 years old, and I'm not. No. Yeah, it was like literally my first or second trip to the US when I was a kid.
Really, and you decided to stay for that long?
Yeah.
No, you're crazy. That's
so I remember coming back and be like, yeah, never doing it again. Like, fuck it. It's way better to just like go to the weekend, like come back, and even if you stay only Monday to Thursday, like it's better to stay at home those 4 days. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, it's better. But of course, if you go to Japan, it's not like you will take 14-hour flight every fucking weekend, right? So
yeah, no. Like if you go to Japan, try to at least stay for more than a week for sure. Like you said, I'm gonna go to Japan as well. Again, hopefully in April of next year for Golden Week or whenever Golden Week is. I'll go during that period of time, and I'll be trying to stay for 3 weeks or a month at max.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no,
a month is a maximum.
Yeah, a month is definitely the maximum for sure. Yeah, because 2 months you go insane.
It'll be insane. It'll be so fucking cool. Hopefully, I mean, I think I'm gonna go for Golden Week as well. So. We'll see each other there again, and hopefully you guys can go there over there too, so we can have some nice experiences, not only Smash but also as a human being, right? Also some, like personal experiences. So that was it for us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our episode about Japan, and hopefully you keep running this game. Remember, learn how to lose, learn how to love this game, and if you do things confidently, I'm pretty sure it will go well for you. So this was the Go Talk. See you next time, Goats.